people prayed to the Immortal One to safeguard the sanctity of peace.
The ceremony's starting! It's Suyo! It's Suyo!
I bear this mask, for this duty is mine alone.
What is this? Is the ceremony over?
Mommy, I'm scared.
What is that?
Let's get out of here!
Get out of here! Get out of here!
In their hearts, fear festers into darkness. But deep within, there is hope to crush that fear.
Well. Folks, 8 years of MOBA Legends 5v5 anniversary. And right now, we have, to top this event, to top this 8-year anniversary, a special face-off. I am Kronos, your host, caster, alongside Scared Yet and Peachy. We're here to bring in the special face-off, the Revenge Call match between ABM and Eliminators. The winning team will be getting the prize of 5,000 diamonds. But for now, it's all about bragging rights. It's all about showing who is the top team in the subcontinent of India. And I think by no means necessary, ABM have to prove that time and again, because they've done that every single time in every single given tournament thus far. And right now, they have a challenger in front of them who've not just beaten them, but beaten them in the grandest of grand stages, in a best of 7, in the final of a tournament nonetheless. And they are Eliminators. Now, this is what happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object. What will happen? Will the force be cracking down that wall and going through and making their stake in this challenge? And right now, let's not wait any further. It is definitely going to be a one cracker of a match. ABM versus Eliminators. Scared Yet, Peachy? What do you guys have to say about it? Especially given the fact that this is probably the 4th or 5th time that they will be going against each other head to head. We've seen what's happened in the past, but the present is what matters. Scared Yet?
True.
First you.
I mean, I'm super excited for this matchup already because, as you mentioned, we have seen ABM reign supreme for the longest of the times in the entire subcontinent. And then it was Eliminators who were the team that, after a long time, were able to take that throne away. So, yeah, I'm excited to see how this entire revenge story, or you could say the rivalry that has been building up in the entire scene, will come out to be. Because if there's any other team who I think can actually take down ABM, that is Eliminators. And if there's anyone else who can take down Eliminators, that's ABM. So it's more like, that push and pull love story that you always like to see. I think so this could be better than the Romeo and Juliet.
Peachy, he said Romeo and Juliet. You think that's what this is all about?
I do think so because they, they go hand to hand together in every single tournament I have been seeing so far, and they have been
Mhm.
battling it out for the victory, for the possession, for the crown. Yes,
True.
that is for sure. And with that, the match going to be very exciting and interesting as well because as we know, the redemption arc is all set on.
Agree, and especially given the fact that right now ABM have won the toss, decided to go first pick in a meta where the first pick usually comes out on top. And we know we're talking brass tacks right now, Scared. This is where you shine the most. We know we're talking about statistics. And usually so far in every single tournament, we sat down the other day, we did the math. In all these tournaments that happen for MOBA Legends 5v5 throughout India, you know there's a multiple competitions going out there as well, Peachy. So right now we've seen the team that goes first pick, that team that always goes blue side, either in a best of 3, in a best of 5, or a best of 7, usually has the higher percentage of win rate, coming down to actually a 56.7%. That is what it's come down to, folks. 56.7% is what the math is. Every time a team is on the blue side, no matter if it's a best of 3, best of 5, or best of 7, they are always on the winning side. And they're starting this off, best of 5 series. Usually you say toss doesn't matter, but given the fact that this time ABM on the blue side, they got the priority. We know what priority means to them, Scared Yet, especially in the hands of Jay. That X-Borg, an absolute menace, an auto win, some people call it, and especially given the fact that statistics are in their favor. So Scared,
That's
Peachy,
true.
Scared, to start with you, what do you think about the entire statistical point of view, as well as you know these players much better than I do?
I mean, so here's the thing, and I would also like to point out the fact about the few changes that we've seen now through the rosters of both the teams. So the whole point about prioritizing that Xborg is, again, you pick up the Xborg, you've got the best priority in the jungle. That's what we always see Jay prioritize and ABM prioritize in their draft. But now with the addition of Ryu, they also have a big flexibility in terms of that jungle and the flexibility between the players because Jay can also play in the EXP, Ryu can also flex to the EXP as such. He's primarily jungle again. And now I just feel that they're going to turn and develop in a certain manner that if in case they get the Xbox, Jay will be playing it in the jungle. But if that's not the case, and if Xbox is respect banned out by eliminators, we will see Ryu flex into that jungle. Now that is a big thing, as eliminators will have to think more deep into this drafting phase.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely. The deep thought that comes in is the one that matters the most. And I think, Peachy,
True.
this is where we would like your expertise to come in as well. You've casted their game. This happened most recently, as recent as yesterday. And we all know, no surprises, ABM coming out 2-0 on top in that one, especially given the fact that there were certain changes, like Scared mentioned. Peachy, you were a first-hand witness to the entire game. Could you give us a little more insight in these few changes? I believe Ryu is not the only change that's there on ABM. Even Eliminators actually have a change of their own. We're not going to see that godly Kufra come in from Kimi that we saw earlier. I believe it's Art that's going to be rocking that roam position. And Peachy, being first-hand witness, what do you got to say about that?
That is true, Kronos. It looks like the Rome player has been replaced, but even Art has been doing so well, I have to say. I have seen him on Grok. He actually gave up a lot of good setups. But on the other hand, yes, you mentioned about Ryu being the replacement from the side of team ABM. Yes, that is true. And right now, that opens up how ABM has the hero pools opened up for them. I have seen Ryu playing on that assassin. He has been taken on, he is actually prioritizing those mages on the back line every single time. Right before, in the yesterday's match, as it was a best of 3 into the second match, I have seen Ryu picked up the Ling and the bid was on Lilia. So right before the team fight started, Ling went in with his skills that actually helped him on the wall, and he actually picked off bid right before the team start. That is where the strong points come in from the side of team area. But Eliminators, they are also stepping up. They got their new jungler. Sorry, not the jungler, but the roamer. So I think, both the teams, they do know what strategies they're going to play.
I think it all comes down to the impact that each and every of these individual players will have. But I think let's not wait any longer, because I know Scared wants to get nitty and gritty down in the draft already, folks, and the players are ready as well. We've been waiting for quite a long time. Just one question to ask, Scared. Peachy, this is the question I ask you guys and the rest of the audience, those of you who are watching. We know the story that ABM have built up. We know Ryu is a long time gamer in this MOBA Legends scene. He's been a face of MOBA for quite a long time, in the shadows, hiding, waiting for the right opportunity. Call him the ultimate opportunist, just waiting to pounce on it when the iron, strike while the iron's hot. That's what his motive is right now, and this is where it cannot get any better. It's just about the fact that this special face-off match, this anniversary face-off that we have, this redemption arc, the revenge match, whatever you want to call it, is a big canvas. Will Art actually have the paint, the colors to put it as per his choosing? Will he be able to actually give us the art we are looking for? That's the big question, Scared. And right now, let's not wait any further, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get straight into the game. And Scared Yet, this is your time to shine, brother, as well as you, Peachy. Good luck and have fun. Let's get into the Land of Dawn, folks.
Oh my God, Kronos, thank you so very much for that. And yes, now it's going to be the time for us to start the game, enjoy that action. And again, the pointers that you have mentioned already about is Art ready to fill the shoes that have been left behind by his predecessor? That's a very big statement because in terms of the room is how you normally control the entire pace, right? And you know what? We've been waiting, we've been yapping, we've been talking, but ladies and gentlemen, it's time for us to get into the drafting phase for the show match today. And so it's going to be ABM on the blue side taking on Eliminators on the red side, and the blue side ban is always going to remain permanent, Peachy, and that's going to be you ban out the Ruby of Crisis.
That is true. I have been seeing this pattern already that they pick up the ruby whenever they are on the blue side, and they're just not leaving out the heroes to pick up for the crisis. And maybe we will be seeing those respect bands coming in as well,
There
Carrier.
are no shortcuts in life.
Highly possible because it's mostly about the respect bans from all of these players, right? And again, every single time that ABM plays against the members of Eliminators, they do respect ban out the Ruby as well as the Nathan, just because how good Crisis is on both of those heroes. But now with the meta changes and with the new patch notes that have been incoming, do you think that Alice could also be a priority ban? Because Eliminators, they banned out the chip of Apex, they've also banned out the Xbox, so Jay is not going into the jungle at least.
Oh, look at that. I think Alice would be playing it out to the goal lane. Yes, I do agree because Alice, with the buffs that she recently had, it is a very strong contender. Like the Ruby, like the Mincitar, a non-conventional pick onto the goal lane, it is pretty strong. And with the Blood Oath, she comes in, I think that actually closes the distance. And it can be a indirect counter to Harith, I could say, this career.
It is. You could kind of argue with that, but at the same time, if you really just want to counter a Harith, pick up the Phobius. And I think so. I wanted to see Eliminators ban on that Phobius, but you know what? They do respect Radium onto that Harith. Radium has been insane whenever he plays those heroes, but a Phobius was left open, and Jay is just gonna lock it. I was about to say as well, there are a few heroes that all of them like to play, and Jay loves to play the Phobius as well, and he's super solid onto that one. Now, what can Eliminators pick to counter that?
Maybe a Terizla could do here, or maybe an Edith. A bit, with the recent patch notes, I would say that Terizla has been nerfed. His early game potential and even the mid game potential has been reduced. But Edith could actually cover that up, and they might go in for that. So it could be a direct counter to that Edith. Edith with the primal wrath, I think she might be able to take on Phobius in 1v1 situation.
Ooh, that's a big statement. That's a big statement. It could be possible in that laning phase, I agree, but the Teresa has received
Uh-huh.
a nerf, I still remember. So it's like now his early game tankiness with the blacksmith stacks is just 21%. It increases to 35. That's more than what he normally had before this entire patch note. So I think so that's one thing. But you picked it out, Peachy. You mentioned about Edith being picked up, and that's what Suzumi has logged in. But I like the fact that Sararmon has also logged his link. And this Edith pick coming in second means that there's a flexibility that this Edith could either go into the drone position or could also play into that EXP lane. Now, quick answer back in the form of the Valentina by Abhi. By the way, for all the people out there, Abhi is Asuna. He just renamed himself. So it's one of the same thing. And Apex locking in that crop. Now they're kind of going in for their own comfort picks if you talk about it.
Yes, that is true. it has gotten a little predictable for both of us to see what they will be going to pick. And most of the sides, both the sides, I have been seeing that they have been picking whatever heroes that they feel that they can perform and outperform the enemies, your opponents as well. So this is where
True.
the comfort picks are actually coming in. So that is why they go in for that. And even though there are more heroes like like the Balmond and getting still buffed, I think slowly by slowly, I think that is going to set in.
Absolutely, that is true. But yeah, I was pretty interested to see as well as to how the Ling or the Roger would be prioritized, and it seems Eliminators they still like that Link much more than the Roger. But at the same time, Crisis now picking up the Nathan in the third pick. I think so. That's pretty early for them to show their cards because Nathan is pretty solid in that late game, and I love the idea that ABM banned out Lilia because they do not have that very solid early game presence. Lilia is very good in that. They've already banned out the Vixana. Now this could be the Aurora ban, and they can actually choke that mid lane way too quickly, way too fast. But there's also a possibility of Sicilian. But it does not matter. They still ban out the Tide Rail. Now my question is, Peachy, if they pick up another mage in that mid lane,
Mhm.
don't you think that they'd have a lot of magic damage and they'd be forced to go something along the lines of a physical roamer?
I mean, yes, that is true. They do. If the magic damage does increase from the side of eliminators, it is a easy counter for them. We do have a lot of items such as the Radiant Armor, even the Athena Shield could be helping them, and that will actually slow down the damage coming in from the side of Eliminators. So they really have to go in for a strong CC tank, I have to add in, and on top of this, a physical tank would be the best option for them right now.
And I like the idea as well. Radium locking in the Moscow along with Ryu picking up the Julian into the jungle position. So now that's the, you could say, flexibility and the opening that has been brought in ABM. We've been talking about how sometimes they're forced to go certain compositions just because we haven't really seen Jay pick up all those assassins, even though he knows how to. But it's just because of some of the probably ping issues that he faces on the other servers. So Ryu being here now brings in the possibility of them constantly picking those assassins into the jungle as well. Now that basically creates them the room to now experiment with those drafts. Art picks up the jawhead, locks it in. I like the idea, but he needs to be very smart onto those engages, and they've got a good re-engage tool in the form of Edith as well. The priority is very simple for eliminators. They wait for the late game, they try to get Sarar on that early snowball, and they hold on till Crisis gets his holy crystal. While on the other side, ABM, they kind of want to fight. They've got the wild charge for those setups. They've got Radium as well on the Moscow for the late game insurance and quick rotations. There's also Ryu on that Julian for those early jungles. I think so. This is going to be a very solid early start for ABM. Peachy, before we go into the land of dawn, quickly make your predictions. Make it a fast one.
Oh, I am leaning towards AVM right now. Look at that lineup. It is looking pretty solid. What about you, Scary? Who are you leaning towards today?
I mean, I think so. In the space game, the game number one is definitely going to go to the side of ABM. But ladies and gentlemen, we are now jumping in the land of dawn. It's the showcase match between ABM taking on Team Eliminators. ABM on the blue side, Eliminators on the red side. It's a best of five series, and we'll have to dive deep into those quick, amazing matches, or maybe some long, lethargic shots. But we'll have to see how it eventually pans out because we are now in this game one, and the early wave clearance coming in from the side of ABM. Now that's the strength that this Grog brings in. But the retribution being forced out from Sarar Moon. And wait a second, he's already basically got his own purple buff as well. But the Little Wanderer is something that could now go to Ryu, but a very fast wave clear from him.
Oh, yes, highly possible. And if it goes into the hands of Ryu, he might be, he not might be, but he will be actually a one level ahead for that retribution stacks, with the power of Sarah Moon right now. But look at that. I'm actually surprised about the Jawhead being the roam of the year because Art, I have been seeing him play Grok, because Lolita coming in, and this is the first time I'm actually seeing him play Jawhead. Scary.
Yeah, here's the thing. They kind of do like to play it, but Apex could be the one who will be on the receiving end of the spectrum. As again, those 5 missiles dealing a lot of damage. But there we go. Ryu, as he joined in, used up the enhanced sword as well. Still could not catch in Art right now. He's used his flicker to try and survive. They kind of wanted Apex to be the one to probably use this flicker, but there we go. Beautiful chains coming in. Purify was there, but it does not matter as Crisis was caught out lacking. Beautiful start over in the top lane. Knockup was there, but again, they still need to take Jake down as the vengeance was there for him to survive. Sarad Moon still waiting for a skill to do reset, but that just did not happen. Low in that HP now. This is going to be a big problem as Art could be caught yet again. Level 3, Bit still catches one. Suzumi as well, finishing Abhi off. So that's a good trade coming in for the side of ABM over towards the top side.
Oh, yes, that is true, Scary. And look at that. They actually managed to get a trade, from bot as well, from the top lane as well. Look at that. Grok trying to zone out the Ling already since the first turtle is up. This is going to be a good battle of retribution. Both the junglers are just looking for those turtles. And this is going to be actually a push start for them, or, for the whole team as well. Because as the turtle, wait a minute, maybe. There we go. Looks like Jawhead would be picked off right here.
Yeah, that is indeed true. Not something we were really expecting to happen, but since in that early 1.5 minute mark, his flicker was forced out just because of the engage that happened near that mid rush. That's when you knew that now Jawhead would need to play in a bit more safe. But Art again went in for his own shenanigans. The turtle's going to be reset though because Siraj joined in. And again, Ryu just did not want to take it over towards the top, is where there's constant exchange of those HPs. So Jay and Suzumi both would have to be careful. As again, Eliminators are now setting up for this turtle fight. There is a Spear of Destruction available from Moscow. We'll talk about that later. Unstoppable Force into again the fire missiles. Jay will still survive. There comes the Tempest of Blades trying to catch one, but he's going to be knocked back and he will have to retreat. As yet again, no one takes the turtle, but it's Suzumi who will fall to the constant damage, isolated and picked apart. Eliminators lose 2 in that fight. And this is going to be a free turtle, you could say, because oh my goodness, Bait needs to run away. My man has got nothing to serve right now, just on a slither of HP. He's no way winning this one out. There's again constant barrage of utilities. Oh my god, a beautiful it's actually falls. That's absolutely insane. The passive was still there on Bait.
Oh my god, what just happened? I was not expecting that. I really thought that the Valentina could be going in and trying to get those kills, but no, it just an overextend coming in from Asuna right here. But on the other hand, 3 kills under 1 minute near the river area. I think this is looking good for ABM right now. Looks like the early game is all set for them. And the power spike from the Julian as well, into the early game, into the mid game. Though the nerfs are there for him, he is still thriving. He is still doing that match. Scary, look at that.
Yeah, another wall again with the wild charge as well. Art could be in trouble. He will be picked off. And that's the strength of this composition that has been brought in by ABM. They constantly can go in for these fast fights. The retreat, wait a second, the purple buff has been stolen. Sarar Moon. That is such a big blow coming in onto the man's Spear of Destruction. Oh my goodness, almost missing it out. But Apex, see how annoying he's being another Guardian's barrier probably, but alright. He's just gonna stand there, but wait a second, in the mid is where now Bed will fall. Beautiful pick-off coming in by the side of ABM, but over towards the top is where finally we see the trade happen. Suzumi winning the fight against Jay. This Phobius is losing against that Edith, but overall in terms of the macro, you can see that there is a 500 gold lead for the side of ABM.
Oh, yes, that is true, Scary. But on the other hand, the second turtle is up in some 10 seconds and less. This is again going to be a battle of retribution. Look at that, they are already on.
Yeah, it seems that Crisis is going to be knocked in over towards the wall as well. Oh, they ejected it, not connect. Art, he could be picked off and he will be picked off. There's no questions asked over that, no doubt about that, as a P now picks up the ultimate of Suzumi. There's going to be the primal form for him as well, dealing a lot of damage. The constant pokes does not matter. The knockup is just not there. Earth Shatterer missing it as well. He forced to use the primal form. Now eventually caught him. That's going to be the Spear of Destruction. This could be disastrous as again, even though the Frigid Glacier was there was just no one to deal the damage. That's just a lovely snowball effect that now coming in from the side of ABM, but they still are not very comfortable. There's Crisis on the other side. Even though he's going 0-2, you do not want this Nathan to get his items early on. No, wait a
Oh,
second, wait a
yes, that is
second.
true.
Hard.
Mhm.
He's just facing so many problems, Peachy. He's going 0-5.
I have to say about his possession, he's trying so hard with the ejector, trying to pop up, any single member, he's just eyeing that Valentina, he's eyeing that Grok. But Grok can actually immune that skills, and with the wild charge, he has been getting caught on. So that is quite unfortunate for him. On the other hand, Radiant is all farming up. He's on the, oh, wait a minute, the team fight has just started, take it away.
Yeah, absolutely. It seems like it's not just started, it's already ended. And Apex was the one who was picked off, and they can try and force down the bottom tier turret as well. Crisis, in the meantime, was catching the mid tier. That's a good play from Eliminators. They are winning in terms of those objectives now, and the goal lead that was slowly and steadily increasing in favor of ABM has now been brought down to just around 1,100, and it's not that high. But Radium needs to survive down bottom. It's got the Purifier as well, so he will be running out of the harm's way. But for how long is going to be the question? There's the entire team. But wait a second. ABM, they're now trying to go in a pincer maneuver as well. Entropy used up already. So Crisis will move backwards, but there's no turret for them to fall back to safety. The Flicker comes in, but the Purifier is there for Crisis, for the man to survive. And caught in the wild charge. The barrier is also there. Ejector onto J. Into the spot. Godlike comes in. He goes in for the double kill. The Ambition of Blades is there to help them out. It's a 1-for-2 trade in favor of ABM, a punish of the lifetime. But they're losing down the HP over their tier 2 on top. The Spear of Destruction connects onto Suzumi as they can eventually try to at least defend that tower. Radium will be able to help it out, but look at the amount of HP that's left out there.
Suzumi, he is getting that opportunity to take down the turret, and he's making a great advantage of that. So that is good in terms of the objective. But team fights, I think team eliminators have to uh, take a step up, and try to be there, because the Jawhead is always getting caught in a very bad position, and that is just not helping team eliminators right now. On the other hand, team AVM, they are winning every single team fight, and Rayu as well. I'm loving how he can actually go to the back line with the Julian and picking off the Nathan. But wait a minute.
Yeah, it seems like again another fight. Yet here we are in towards the mid. The possibility of a gank, a good amount of damage as the Tempest of Blades is being forced out. No more dashes coming into the play, but a beautiful freeze as Crisis catches the shutdown onto Ryu in the backline. Is where Ark is. He's going to be bombed down on from that Phobias. But that's exactly what he's supposed to do. Oh my goodness, Jay is just not stopping. The man still has got his vengeance up, but the entropy comes into the play with the British charge. Trying to kill those, but the killing spree coming in for Crisis, only for Apex to shut him down. Suzumi super low, but Moon still catches one. The passive on Bait is there. He's got no skills remaining. Super low on the HP. The knock up is Suzumi. He needs to run away. The flicker forward by a B to catch him out. As Sarah is the only man who remains. His art is also now respawning, coming back from his base. What a scrappy fight that was, but still, it's almost both the teams dead even.
Yes, that is true. But look at the ready coming in to the full Sarah Moon's group of Link trying to go in with the Blade of Tempest. Looks like Jawhead will be picked off right here again.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole thing. A shutdown by Apex onto the man. This is just too much damage from that Grog. But PG, I was telling you about the fact that 10 to 11 minute mark is where Nathan shines the most. We'll talk about that in a while. As again, the Earth Shatterer comes to the play as well. Pit will still need to move back as the Astros mark is on top of it. But Crisis seems to be in trouble. Oh my goodness, pick a wild charge by Apex. He cuts in the Guardian's barrier too, right on the face. And he needs to retreat. The man will have to go back, no HP to work around with it. And that means Ryu gets that free Lord. So coming back to the point, Crisis has got his Holy Crystal. I really want to have a look at the itemization right now to quickly talk about those Radiant Armor's importance in this situation, because if that's not going to be the case, Crisis can actually pre-hit from the backline and can delete the entire front line of ABM.
If possible, yes, because once the Nathan gets farmed up, it is a problem for Team ABM. But on the other hand, there is there is Apex, there is even Julian to shut him down. I have seen him go into the wait a minute, the Lord is into the mid lane. Might be exchange of blows going on. Take it away, Stadium.
Absolutely, as this seems to be the case, but the Lord has been taken down so very quickly, and this is the strength of Nathan. This is the strength of this composition. But Radiant, you are a cheeky one. My man catches the inhibitor, but now needs to run away as he still will be deleted because of the primal form. But wait a second, there's still a knockback ejector, not used up. Tempest of Blades so early on, forced out by Sinard Moon. And that means his blue buff can eventually be in contest yet again, as the minions will be knocking in onto those outer turrets, yet that is left in the top side.
It is looking, the sun is shining towards Team ABM right now, but it could change anytime soon because the Nathan is definitely scary. Even the Edith is scary. Once she gets the Earthquake Shatter onto two members or maybe three members of ABM, I think it will be a little problem, but they have to pin down the Julian. Look at that, Julian dealing so much damage. It was Edith who is a little tanky and being taken down.
Yeah, I mean, he also picked up recently the Radiant Armor. Now, that's the main thing. So, Zumi, even after all of that, he needs his dominant sights. He needs his Blade Armor to survive from the damage by Radium and J. That's the reason why I mentioned I want to have a look at those itemization as quickly as possible. Now, since there's no Crisis, no Suzumi, the wave clear is lacking. So, the mid inhibitor is now going to be knocked and barged in as well. But he starts on the third level. That's insane. But hold on a second. We fall down in that situation. It was probably an ejector play by Art, but hesitating, Athena Shield, Wishing Lanterns now being picked up. So all of those crucial items now, oh my god, hold on a second, Radium. The man needs to be careful. He can be poked down, taken out as well. Low range on the Moscow is a big problem in the normal situations, and Art is now the one who's actually getting a bit of CC. Entropy being used up with the forward movement. Rival could be in trouble, but the man still survives. With the enhanced sword, he runs away, he dodges, iframes every single damage. Lucky my man is, or you could say just how skilled he is.
That is very lucky for him. But on the other hand, right now, Art does have his flicker and he can actually make that ejector play if he can go right into the face of Asuna. But wait a minute, something is brewing. No, no, looks like that is not the case. The Lord will be up in few seconds, and there you go. The Lord is up. This will be a luminous Lord. This will be a level 2 Lord, and Team ABM or Team if Team Eliminators secures this, they have a possibility to push back ABM right now and close the goal gap as well, Scarier.
Yeah, indeed, but oh my goodness, a flicker being forced out from Suzumi, that's a big problem. Now Jay is there, he's going to be knocked back and knocked up as well, but there's no one to help with the damage because Apex is zoning the entire backline. And again, Crisis has to go and clear those waves. Art will also use the flicker, the wild charge was also there, along with the flicker, the Guardian Barrier, pick up that kill. Apex low in their HP, does not matter, Tempest of Blades connected onto two, and that's going to be the back and forth trades coming in, but Jay was still there, standing but not for long as Crisis decided to delete him. Also, Ramon wanted to scout out the players. It's Apex in low HP now being chased. Radium joins in. The Purify comes into the play as well. Wait with yet another spell. As Radium just outplayed both of them. He's using the Spear of Destruction. It does not catch on to Bid. Art will be back up in the next 5 seconds, but this means a free Lord could eventually be on the way for ABM.
Yes, that is true, Scariot. But the Julian is down. He is falling in few seconds. Yes, it could be a free Lord, but on the other hand, Team Eliminators, they are up as well. And also, I just saw how a Nathan actually pulled out every single spell and how they dispersed the Team ABM. It was very a sight to behold. On the other hand, maybe look at that.
It used to be yet another fight, Tempest of Blaze, knocker, but that's just on to Apex as Radium catches Art. Another frontliner out of the mix. Bid is there, he's got the passive up as well, so he can at least rest easy for now. But it just seems to be the case where ABM are the one who are dominating right from the beginning, and this is what I mentioned. They've got a very good team fight composition. And even though Suzumi is there to frontline, the way how Apex is just immuning everything is just working brilliantly. And his Guardian's barriers have been on point, Peachy, I must tell you. Every single time Apex is there in front of everyone, he's not using the Guardian's barrier to engage first. He's using the Wild Charge to close the gap, and then he uses the Guardian's barrier to stop an exit path from the other side. That's phenomenal. Now, It's going to be Lodge marching in, but a beautiful wave management from ABM yet again. They will be taking down the mid inhibitor. Ejector play coming onto the man himself. The wild charge onto the backline, but still was taken down. It's Apex who falls first. But the damage coming in with the frigid glacier stolen away by Abhi on the other side. He catches onto Pure, but the radium is there. The backline catching still there, and the Lord just takes down the crystal. ABM taking game number 1.
Oh my God, what a game coming in from Team ABM. And look at that. With just a level 2, not even able to
Jeez.
get the crystal, that is pretty strong. On the other hand, I just saw how Asuna was, Abhi was the one who actually took down the crisis, which was very important right before the Lord just went in. I think that was the falling point for Team Eliminators right here in that match.
I mean, all the questions have now been answered, right? Everyone who was asking and basically pointing fingers on Radium, they'll all have been silent. They're all just keeping those fingers onto their own mouths as he picked up that Moscow and did actually a phenomenal job. And I'll be honest, I'm a Moscow hater from the bottom of my heart, but the man still impressed me with the way how he played. Even though a Moscow should not technically work in the draft that's for the side of eliminators. You've got an Aurora with the range. You've got Suzumi that if you get close, who will basically knock you up and finish you off. You've also got Serrar Moon on that link, and he's the most prioritized jungler these days. But even after all that, there's a jawhead to top it all off. Say kudos to the way how Apex played, and kudos to Jay always being on the faces of eliminators that gave such a beautiful pathing to Ryu and Radium to free hit. And then there was Abhi, who was basically getting some good frigid glaciers in front of all of them. That is such a crazy set. And ABM are looking in so very solid right now. Good itemizations coming in from both the sides. I don't really see any major changes. Again, it's just a type of priority over Suzumi though. He's got the Stallium side. Sometimes players prefer the Feather of Heaven.
I think, folks, that could not have been better summed up.
True.
And especially given the fact that you mentioned the one silencing his haters, his doubters, putting in his claim saying that, hey, I'm not just a nobody. I'm not just someone who has a title, but I am someone who lives up to the name. Radium, MVP for game number 1, best of 5 series, ABM coming out on top. And I think,
True.
Peachy, you saw most of it, what was going on as well. Scared, you saw everything that happened. I think it came down to the fact that this Moscow wouldn't work against the Ling, against an Aurora out of everyone, and you got a Jawhead on the other side as well. The early game is what Eliminators wanted to play for. Unfortunately, it didn't work out for them. And I think it was too hard for them. They had to bite the bullet on this one. But Scared and Peachy, I think Radium definitely proving his haters wrong. And now shining bright like a diamond. Probably going to get into game number 2 with on a high as well. Head up and chest out, making sure he's leading his team to victory. Because I think this was a really important one for them.
I mean, I'll just say one main factor, right? The Jawhead was actually a pretty interesting pick. I wouldn't exactly say the greatest of the greatest pick, but an interesting pick. But the whole situation turned head over heels was because of the fact that Apex was just scouting out art so very well. Every single time there was a possibility of an ejector play or maybe an unstoppable force play. Apex was standing right in front of the man. And it was like, you know what? Use all your skills on me. I don't care. I can just immune all of it. You can't do anything in front of me.
Luli and Peachy. Like what do you think? What do you got to say, Peachy? Come on, you've seen their most of the game. I think you've casted most of Eliminators versus ABM more than Scared and myself even. And having seen all of it right now, you think ABM are back to their prime, or was it just something that they had to shrug off? That Eliminators were just somebody. I mean, it was a nobody trying to be a somebody, and right now they're just back shaking up ABM and trying to take the top position again.
It seems that Peachy might actually join us in a while, though. Kronos, I think so. We should give her a bit of time, and I guess we should throw it to a small break and get back after this short break. What do you think?
I think for sure, because I think we gotta definitely look in. We need time to. I think she's just processing all the information that just happened in game number one, because we definitely have a lot to say. So let's not go anywhere, folks. This is Chrono Scared Yet and Peachy gonna be right back after a short break. Stay tuned, because game number two definitely gonna be a cracker again.
A darkness plagues this world, unseen by mortal eyes. People prayed to the Immortal One to safeguard the sanctity of peace.
The ceremony's starting! It's Suyo! It's Suyo!
I bear this mask, for this duty is mine alone.
What is this? Is the ceremony over?
Mommy, I'm scared.
What is that?
Let's get out of here!
Get out of here! Let's get out of here!
In their hearts, fear festers into darkness. But deep within, there is hope to crush that fear. Through this mask, I see no fear.
A darkness plagues this world, unseen by mortal eyes. People prayed to the Immortal One to safeguard the sanctity of peace.
The ceremony's starting! It's Suyo! It's Suyo!
I bear this mask, for this duty is mine alone.
What is this? Is the ceremony over?
Mommy, I'm scared.
What is that?
Let's get out of here.
Get out of here! Let's get out of here!
In their hearts, fear festers into darkness. But deep within, there is hope to crush that fear.
Well, it seems like the game was pretty exhilarating and exciting, electrifying. You can say whatever you want to, but man, oh man, the domination from ABM was absolutely unreal. We really thought ET might actually put up a fight, but Kronos, it seems like Art wanted to paint Mona Lisa, but he wasn't not the Leonardo da Vinci.
Very true indeed, Scared. Not just was he not Leonardo da Vinci, but also guess what? The canvas he wanted to paint on was quite bloody indeed. Bloody with spears coming out of Moscow, just destroying every single thing. Coming down from radium as well, shining bright like a diamond indeed. And ABM set the pace for the game. Peachy, you know what we saw. Definitely going to be a 1-0. Will it be a 2-0? Will it be a 1-1? You never know. Best of 5 can go anyway.
I mean,
That is true, Kronos.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a good question,
But
Kronos, as you mentioned, because yeah, it could actually be a 2-0. But Peachy, since he wanted to ask that question to you, I also want to ask you one more question. So you have to answer two questions here. Kronos is one as to if it's going to be a 2-0, and then do you think Art's jawhead was, you could say, the issue?
yes, it was an issue, scared. Yet, I have seen him. He's getting zoned out by that grog, by the apex. That is where the issue started. On the other hand, even though his ejectors were good, some team fights I have seen eliminators doing their job, and they made sure they were playing around Crisis, and they made sure Crisis were getting those kills. But on the other hand, there was this Juliet, there was this Valentina as well. That was just creating the environment where Crisis were not able to farm up, were not able to get into their faces of ABM. So that is where they fell off. But I really don't think that the Jawhead was a good option against a Grok. But I think they will have to change it up, since they had seen this defeat. In the next upcoming matches, since this is the best of 5, we will be seeing that, that roam gap getting closed by Art.
I mean, that's a big point. That's a big
Bold
point, and I kind of
statement.
exactly I agree to that as well, Kronos. I definitely agree to that because we were talking about it yesterday as well. I think so. Art might actually face that pressure that Apex brings on the table. You always talk about how Apex eats up the enemy roamer, and I think so that happened in this game perfectly.
I think it's just, Apex, you know what, guys? Let's take a step back. All right, let's take a step back. Look at the bigger picture. Apex, like his name says, is at the top of his game. The top roamer in the subcontinent of India. In the country of India, he is the top roamer, no doubt. He has proven it without a shadow of a doubt. International stage, yes, he's had hiccups, but guess what? Like a champion, shrugs it off, puts on, gets back in front of the mirror, pulls up his tie, puts his suit on, like Superman, goes out, and ready to play every single time. And he's done this time and again. And on the other side, more than him putting pressure on the map, I feel like it's the counterpart of the roamer who feels like he has to mirror Apex's rotation. Because if he does not, and they don't find him, and we know how he loves to play these setup tanks, now given the fact that they have Ryu in the jungle, it just goes to show that the pressure is surmountable to a certain point that Art was just not able to keep up.
I guess so. And I kind of agree with the point of view that you're bringing. But also, I like the fact that you touched upon Ryu into the jungle. Now, Peachy, we've been in the community for a while now. Kronos is the rookie out here. He joined us recently. So I'm
Yo.
gonna be no disrespect out there. You know, I love you, bro. So, Peachy, Ryu and Apex, they were a part of the previous lineup as well, Dragon, and who also dominated the scene exactly like ABM, if not better. Do you think that old synergy has got something to do with the way how they're playing right now?
I think definitely yes. They have been playing Mobile Legends 5v5 for a long time. The friendship is strong, the teamwork is strong, the determination they have to get on the top spot as well. That is strong as well. So we are actually seeing that the setups coming in from Apex. It allowed Julian to go in. It allowed Ryu to go in and catch off Crisis as well. That is a strong point that we actually saw in this game.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree. Crisis was constantly being pounced upon. In minute one, we saw Kronos, Ryu on that Julian, prioritize taking down Crisis. And now, do you think that in the next drafting phase, since they basically let Nathan go, they might as well let go of that Ruby too? Or maybe they're still going to ban it out?
I mean, I think the focus has been too much on Crisis from Eliminators, right? The fact that
Mhm.
you want to ban out this Ruby, you want to ban out this Nathan, and I think recently you started picking up this Alice as well. So the highlight has been on
Yes.
Crisis for quite some time, and I've said it time and again that he's one of the players that I like currently in the Indian metagame, and he has been up and coming. He's been that kid who's trying to transition into a man, and I think in the terms of Mobile Legends. But the thing is he able to transition quite easily, or does he have some hiccups along the way? He definitely has some hiccups along the way, but I think that comes down to how well he can transition his mechanical skill from a couple of heroes, widen his hero pool, and not just that, look at how he can multiply with a team than just adding up multiple dimensions. So it just goes to show, is he at that point where he can say like, hey, I'm the top dog? Absolutely not. But does he have the potential to be there? Yes, he does.
I mean, and since you mentioned about the potential, that's what Radium as well showed onto his Moscow, silencing all the people out there, including me, because I don't really like Moscow. But we've been talking a lot about what could happen and what might happen and what has happened. It's time for us to see what is going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. Let's now jump into the game number two of the showcase match of Mobile Legends 5v5. And guess what? There's a big announcement for you as well coming up right after this game. So make sure you stay tuned. You enjoy the game, ladies and gentlemen. And Kronos and Peachy, take away. The stage is all yours.
Scared yet, could not have done it any better. And guess what, Peachy? It's you and me. Time to shine at the caster's desk. I'm pretty excited. When was the last time we casted together, Peachy? I don't know. It was forever ago for me. But for now, let's not forget, this is game number two. Peachy, you still didn't answer my question. Is it going to be a 1-1? Is it going to be a 2-0?
I am hoping for a 2-0 because ABM, they actually countered that Nathan. They countered that Jawhead. So, yes, I am hoping for a 2-0 and I'm leaning towards that as well, Kronos.
I mean, you're making bold statements, Peachy. She does not hide, folks. She's here exposing everything that she has to. But right now, Eliminators on the blue side, ABM on the red. It definitely goes to show that we spoke about statistics earlier. Before this match happened, there was 56.7% chance that the blue team always comes out victorious. So now ET on the blue side, will they actually be able to pick up this game or not? Not really sure. Let's not forget, it's still a 50-50, Peachy. But then it always comes down to these picks, the X-Borg. They cannot deal with it because Jay is so good. And like Scared mentioned, that Ruby, a flexible pick, just being banned out. They do not want to deal with it whatsoever.
Oh, I think that is a strong way, and that is a perma ban coming in from a team ABM or even team Eliminators as well. So I think the first ban is all set out for that Ruby, and they are just not allowing any of the team members to pick it up for themselves and dominating the battlefield. On the other hand, we might be seeing another comfort picks as well. Maybe the Xbox, maybe a Hanzo as well, because I have seen that coming as quite recently as well.
I think it's not as recent as we'd like it to be. It's a really good pocket pick that comes out from Jay in the jungle. You know, they don't want to give away this Hanzo, which is a surprise pick. They pull it off every now and then, but when they do, they know the rotation. They played it time and again. They know how to exactly maximize the utilization of this hero. You know, maximize the potential that Hanzo provides. Be a dominating force right from the beginning. And speaking of a dominating force, they take out this Phoveus, and from the beginning, they know what a chip can do.
Oh, yes. I think that chip ban is just directed towards the Apex because he has been playing those heroes. These are the heroes that set up the utility. These are the heroes that set up the team fight, the pathway for his teammates to go on. And even though there is a nerf on the chip, where his ultimate cooldown has been increased to a 60 seconds, but he is still pulling those games off. He's still bringing that 1v5 or maybe a 2v5 situation.
I think, look at that, ET realizing, I think Serar Moon really had a good game on this Ling, but just goes to show that they want to prioritize something else. They have the Zask, the Alice is available, the Aurora is there as well, and now given the fact that Khalid is an upcoming pick in the metagame, it's just a matter of time will teams pick it up, and they go for Harriet on Crisis, realizing that not just the power pick, but also denying a pick away from Radiant, but Apex, a trusty Grok indeed. Why fix what's not broken? Pick it up one more time, and show them how it's done.
Even when all is forlorn.
Oh, yeah, there we go. I think, he did create that the dominance. He asserted that dominance. So I think he will be continuing with that. So he picks up a growth. His setups were fantastic, but even though it was a little far from the Jawhead, but this time I don't think Team Eliminators will be making that same mistake, and they might be switching up to some other heroes as well.
Think they should switch it up a little bit given the fact that they have the Alpha. We've seen Serar Moon play the Alpha quite a lot of times, and it has been a dominating force, especially against these tanky lineups that Jay likes to pull off in the jungle. But guess what? It's not Jay in the jungle, it's Ryu, and Serar Moon pulls out another trusty hero in the form of this Roger. Just wants to and pounce his way into the jungle, into the enemy base, and get ABM rid one after the other. Along with Suzumi on this Terizla. Terizla, yes, he's been great, but he's been falling off because the slow rotation that Terizla brings in, by no means is he weak. He's great in team fights. That penalty zone is going to be a cracker, especially when it comes to these 5-man setups. But given the fact that he is a little slower in the EXP lane rotation, that might slow them down, Peachy. But at the same time, they got racking up on the magic damage. Radium on the Lunox and Asuna on this Vexana.
I am surprised how Radium is on Lunox this time to counter out the Hadit. It is a good unconventional pick to counter the Hadit, but I am really not sure because Hadit can actually close that gap, that distance that Lunox need, but we might be seeing in that match. But we have to give credits to Lunox as well. She does have that magic damage. She does have the the dark from the chaos to her. So both goal laners, it is looking neck to neck right now, Chronos.
I think given the fact that they take out this Lilia, right, goes to show they want to go a little bit of a tanky route in the jungle. Especially they have this flexibility right now with Jay and Ryu. We know Jay's been a time-proven jungler for them for a long, long time. But now Ryu adding himself into the mixture goes to show that they want to show their cards. Ryu, I think when I looked it up on Google, Peachy, translates to dragon, a unique dragon indeed. And guess what? They don't want to see that uniqueness in Julian come out this time, banning it out after what Crisis had to go through the early phase of the game in game number 1. And right now, Jay, it's all eyes on him at this point. Will he go into the EXP lane? Will he go into the jungle? This flexibility that they have, especially this Khalid I was talking about earlier, Peachy. This fast rotation, Khalid versus Terizla, people have not realized that yet. Khalid wins it outright.
Oh, that is true. As we all know, I did cast for a game between ABM versus ET yesterday, So I did see they were playing a Khalid. This is from the side of Team Eliminators. And a Terizla. And I have seen Tesla losing up the lane, that was which was very surprising. But on the other hand, the team fight from the side of team, eliminators, they were able to get it, but unfortunately, it was quite a story, Kronos. It was a 2-0.
Wait a minute, Peachy. Before you pull off that 2-0, are we looking at a mid lane Farmis and Matilda? But guess what? The Nolan being pulled off by Ryu. Jesus Christ, somebody called it. I don't know who did, but I was just thinking back to the time where Nolan was a great part of the meta, and now we're gonna see all these ruptures, the fissures coming out, making sure that they crack upon the land of Dawn. The stage is set, Peachy. You called it a 2-0, but looking at the fact that this might actually be something of a re-engage coming out from Eliminators, what they're looking at, I think this Roger is something of a force to be reckoned with. But ABM on the other side, they definitely have the winning EXP lane, but the jungle is what it's all about.
Oh, yes, that is true. I'm looking at the Nolan pick. Nolan really has to snowball the early game. So he has to get the snowball in, and that is how he's going to get farmed. Because whenever if he's only going to be up, taking up his buffs, his creeps, that is just not enough. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are in the land of Dawn. This will be the match between Team ABM versus Team Eliminators.
Well, speaking of, look at Apex just going in already. Power of nature to provide that extra bit of wave clear. Look at Bit already taking quite low. Art right now, they don't have the fast wave clear, and this is what it's all about. Apex wants to invade, but Sir Moon forced to take the jungle creep a little quicker than he should. And right now, they are trying to dominate this EXP side of the lane, giving Jay a little bit of more priority, given the fact that Khalid is the one that kind of wins this lane out every now and then again. There he goes. He has that damage going in for the tankier out with a concussive blast. And look at Ryu just trying to steal in away that bear creep to get that level 4 power spike sooner than Roger.
Oh, look at that. The exchange of blows is so much. But Kronos, I have to notice this fact how Ryu has been playing those heroes with the high mobilities and has the ability to go back into the back line as well. Look at him with the Nolan again. I think he is just targeting that uh, crisis this time again.
I agree, and given the fact that, Nolan is someone that needs to get in the back line, and Ryu being a jungler that's able to find that target, able to find Crisis, able to find Art, able to find Bid, will use that fracture, and this is what it's all about, the Nolan rotation, folks. They reach level 5, while Serar Moon on the Roger is still level 3, and look at that, they go in first blood indeed, takes him down, and guess what, that's a tanky Charizla. Suzumi just chunked down like he was a meat on a chopping board, and Ryu, the chef right now, cooking. He wants this turtle soup as they have priority.
Oh, Ryu is definitely cooking. Look at him. I think that the Terizla nerf is actually showing in this map because his early game has been nerfed, even the mid game. So that is where it is a problem for right now. But wait a minute, maybe an invade coming in.
Ooh, I don't think it was an invade. They were trying to. They do not want to go for the first turtle. This is a strategy we've been seeing for quite a long time. And it's all about getting this jungler, the assassins, their mid-game power spike that they need. So you do not take it at the second minute. You delay the second turtle to the point where once you pick it up, you get the power spike and then you instantly go for the Lord. And this is what it's all been about. And Ryu, level 6 right now on a Nolan. Serar Moon is still level 4. This will be the difference maker. And look what, there is the Eternal Guardian coming in from Asuna. They go in. Jay's caught out. Oh, the penalty zone comes in. Suzumi, he has the damage, but guess what? There's just too much for him to deal with. And Nolan, Ryu, just able to assassinate the tanky Charizla. Suzumi not really able to do anything out there.
Second time in a row, no mercy shown to that Terizla. I mean, it's not like Terizla was just showing disrespect towards Team ATM, but they are just punishing him for him. And with that, wait a minute, there's something going on towards the river area.
Oh, circling eagle, but guess what? Apex just charges in, but there it is, the call altar actually doing a lot of damage, and they get that Zaman Force drop down, the double kill going on towards Bid, and look at Ryu goes in the fracture on killing spree indeed. What can Sarar Moon do? He went for the Lycan pounce, but guess what? The Lycan was nothing in front of the assassin, the time traveler. Ryu just able to pierce through time and space, get all that damage down. Now they're invading into the opposition jungle. That purple buff is up for grabs, and Bid really can't do anything about it either.
Oh, that is true. Because being taken down and his blue up as well. Wait a minute, look at Factor is being taken down again by that Nolan. I think snowball part that I mentioned, Chrono, that is happening. That is what we are seeing right now.
That's what it is, and look at that, they're invading with the orange as well. Circling Eel comes out, but not enough. They get a 4-man knockup, but gets caught in that wild charge right into the Guardian's barrier. They get that kill, Monchika indeed. Ryu able to go out, but there it is, the Raging Sandstorm. Brilliance comes out, but they take him down. Lycan for him able to get the kill. Suzumi falls down as well, and there is Crisis. Sarar Moon Art, that's a triple kill on towards Radium. Once again, turning out to be the Batman in this Batman and Robin story that he is trying to pull off with Apex for quite a long time now. Able to shine bright under the lights, right in the spotlight. And seems like ABM once again gonna come out on top. 5K, 4K ahead in gold. 5-minute mark, 9-3 kill score. And meanwhile on the bot side, this fight's being extended. Circling Eagle, but Art has to fall back.
Okay, Art is just playing it safe right now into this game because taking one from his mistake from the previous match, and that is pretty. And he is
Raging Sandstorm, Eternal Guardian. He used everything except for that kitchen sink in that one, Peachy, for sure. And right now, they're trying to get the one after the other. Ryu not able to do much in this. He wants to go a little bit again onto her. Suzumi being the sole target of fracture penalty zone just to get out of there. But guess what? They get the kill. Asuna able to pick it up for himself. 108 on this Vexana. And down bot, they finally unlock Radium. Able to give him the space that he needs. And Apex recall taunt power of nature. Immune to CC completely. And what can Art do? This lonely Matilda needs a lot of support, but the damage is too much through the fracture. Ryu almost piercing the armor completely. And Bid here, copying a rock in a hard place. Jay does have the Raging Sandstorm. Does not want to go in yet, and that's the power of this Khalid. Able to rotate much faster than a Terizla, and Suzumi lacking. And seems like Eliminators not just behind on gold, not just behind on kills, not just behind on map pressure, but even in the meta, because this is what ABM's all about, abusing the meta and actually catching up to it before everybody else can. Meanwhile, the top side, Jay here, able to force out. Sarar Moon able to bob and weave, but copy the rock in a hard place. Will he go down? Yes, he does. Jay picks up the kill, and once again, ABM coming out on top. Meanwhile, Apex here gets the wild charge in. Bid using that ultimate to make sure they survive, and they're just extending and extending Peachy. Ryu, he wants it. No, he doesn't get it. They missed the penalty zone. Suzumi, what are you thinking? You're swinging that hammer, but you got no damage. And Radium goes in. Chaos Assault will get Suzumi indeed. And once again, ABM just extending this goal lead.
Oh my. Slowly, guys, slowly look at that. This is actually becoming a one-sided game. You know, a total domination coming in from Team ABM already. They do have the map presence. They do have the control already. Look at that. You know, the purple buff being in jeopardy. Again, the Eternal Guard has been caught as well.
Look at that. Art just trying to engage on something, but they don't have the gold. And look at that guiding wind to get out of harm's way. Brilliance popped as well to make sure they survive. Trying to bait out that penalty zone from Suzumi, but it's been all about the Nether Realm so far for the side of Eliminators. And ABM making their statement. Looking Jay, he's just walking in the front of 3 of them. Penalty zone comes out. They're trying to punish him, but the Raging Sandstorm to get out of harm's way. Lycan pounce to go in. He does have the quicksand guard to get his HP back up. Able to survive, baits out quite a lot in the process as well.
Oh, yes, there we go. You know, This is what Jay is actually known for. When he's ever playing onto the EXP, he just goes and he tries to bait those skills out for them, and he actually survives as well. So this is what Jay is doing so far. On to the other hand, I think it's not the Vexana, but the Paramis is the one who is the saving grace for the team eliminators right now. With the correct use of the weather realm, I think he may be or may not be able to save his team.
Oh my god, talk about a merchant in the wrong position. Apex has been dominating the map. And Ryu! Oh my goodness, he goes in and fractures, destroys Bid. Who needs the nether realm when you can just burst them down instantly? Raging Sandstorm comes out. Guess what? They use the wild charge. Arts in the back line all by himself, but gets targeted down by Ryu. He's going in. He has the rifts. He gets another. That's a triple kill. And right now, Bid is the only one standing in the mid lane. And meanwhile, the damage dealer's up top. Ryu biting off more than he could chew. The Lycan Pounce comes out, but he's able to get up. The rifts are coming in handy. He gets shut down. But at the same time, Radium is there to pick up the pieces. And they get that kill. This is the time for Radium to shine. The early game was taking care of Ryu. And now, this Lunox 502 has the damage, has the gold. And now they will get after ET once again.
Oh, yes, Kronos, look at that. There's no one to stop that Ryu, and there's no one to stop Radiant as well. But unfortunately, Ryu was just picked off. Looks like the bounty from his head will be transferred to Team Eliminators. This is actually beneficial for them right now, but wait a minute, look at that. The engage is still going on.
They do. 4-man knockup, but guess what? To no avail, they get 2. That's Suzumi and Art, the front line that's supposed to be. Crisis, yes, he's 0, 1, and 3, but he's not able to do anything. He doesn't have the time to drop that Zaman Force to dash around. He needs that space, but that space is not being given. They're just stacking up CC, stacking up so much damage, they can't really do anything about it.
Oh, it is quite unfortunate because the Roger has to get farmed up. He is farming up. He's trying to get those creeps, they're trying to get those buffs as well, but it's just not enough. The goal gap is actually showing, and that is where their team eliminators are lacking right now. With that, I think this will be another free road for the side of Team ABM, or maybe a contest coming in because they do have a parameter. They could go in with the Nether Realm. Oh, but I don't think they are choosing that route right now.
The one that's going in is Apex. Oh, they finally get a kill. They get a shutdown on Jay, and Art's the one to pick it up. But guess what? He goes for the Ruby DD combo. Lunok's able to pick up the kill. Godlike is Radium. Lycan form coming in. He gets in. Serar Moon almost catching Radium, but doesn't want to risk it. Crisis trying to dish out damage as well, but no time as the Lord is down marching in the mid lane. It's not a luminous one, but they don't have time. They gotta burst it down. It's a 4v4 right now. They do not have the Nether Realm as well, but guess what? Every other spell has been used on the other side. Every other ultimate coming in, and now they're able to buy some time, take a breather. Eliminators really need to start looking at the bigger picture here because they're 9,000 behind in goal, Peachy.
Oh, that is definitely true, Kronos. It is not looking good for them right now, but they might be able to close that gap. They are slowly doing it, but they are quite not there. On the other hand, Team ABM, they are still creating this environment, this atmosphere that they are dominating with that Grok coming in with the Wild Charge and the Guardian as well. It is, he has been placing those walls in a quite a way that he has been, stopping from the side of Team Eliminators to not go out and be forced to actually retaliate.
They are trying to retaliate indeed. They're forced to retaliate, like you said, Peachy. And I think it all comes to the fact that this Khalid that I was talking about earlier, able to make a faster rotation compared to a Terizla. Apex walks in the midst of it. He gets a wild chart, catches 2. They get bit in the process. Penalty zone to get away. Raging Sandstorm comes out of well. That's a double kill onto the Lunox. And now he goes in. They provide the guiding wind, provide the circling eagle from Art, but to no avail. But Ryu once again trying to get the fracture onto a Serar Moon this time, but mobile enough to get out of harm's way is this Roger. And they're just munching down and breathing down the necks of Eliminators, not giving them that room to actually gather themselves. And this is what ABM's all about. Apply that pressure and choke them when the time is necessary.
Oh, yes, Kronos. That is true. They are still, Team ABM are still there into the side of Team Eliminators. They are trying to see, they are trying to get a window of opportunity towards themselves. Right now, into the last team fight, we did see that Brock just going, bonkers. He just walked right into, between four people. I was surprised to see that. But ABM, Apex has the courage to do that, and he has done it himself. With that, it is kind of looking one-sided match because the Eliminators, they are not able to catch up. They are trying their best. Look at that, the split push coming in. Maybe they will be spotted out. They are spotted out by the lead, and there is this drop to stop them out.
Oh yeah, they do, but well, guess what? Apex, oh, he gets caught in the penalty zone, but Power of Nature able to get that CC immune. They get the Eternal Guardian as well. The Luminous Lord is up. Apex just buying time. Guardian's Barrier. Recall taunts coming in. Just buying time.
The Lord is up. Team Eliminators, they do have to contest this lot because if they do, and if they actually get the retribution, which I don't think right now is happening because Ryu, he has all the resources, he has all the zoning as well from his teammates. Look at the Radium's. Position, even the Apex position as well. They are zoning every single member from the side of Team Eliminator right now.
They are trying to indeed, and like you mentioned, the Luminous Lord is there, and now it's marching down the mid lane. They're trying to sink the waves, although the top side is making its way. I think it should be well done indeed by ABM. The first wave is crashing down bot. The Luminous Lord should be charging in the mid lane. Art is trying to pull the aggro away, but guess what? They can't really do anything in front of this Grok. Apex just charging, leading it, and guess what? Ryu goes in on towards Suzumi. That is the Terizla we're talking about, eating down meat like it's nothing, ready to get them on the chopping block. Art just gets down quite low. Lunox is there. Radium wants to pounce once again, and Sirar Moon, Lycan form, trying to get in, but guess what? There's the Raging Sandstorm with the flicker. Netherrealm is popped. They're trying to survive, but the base crystal left exposed. There's the Circling Eagle. The Lord has been taken down. His ABM biting off more than they could chew. Successful defense coming out from Eliminators.
Oh, yeah, I was really, I really hope that it was a end for Team Eliminators, but looks like they have proven me wrong here. On the other hand, a successful Lord defend, yes, they are retaliating back as well. They got that items right now to themselves because look at the goal gap. Even though it is a whole 10,000 goal gap, they are just trying to one step by one step. They are trying to get it closed, but I don't think that Apex is letting them. Look at the zoning coming out. The creeps being stolen from the side of Team ABM, left and right.
Agree the fact that Apex is just able to open the map up for his team, right? He's able to open the map up so much. The fact that Art really can't do anything. Neither can Sirar Moon. Suzumi is just forced to use the penalty zone whenever he sees actually to run away. And when he tries to catch someone, it's always Jay or Apex. And I don't think that's the target that you want. You want to get in towards Asuna. You want to get in towards Radium, especially Ryu right now as well. And by stopping this, they're able to actually free up the damage that Radium has to dish out. And like I mentioned, it's this Batman and Robin combo. Usually it's Apex who's the Batman and Radium the Robin, but guess what? This time they switched it around. Radium says he wants to shine bright in the spotlight this time, proving his haters wrong, proving his doubters wrong once again. And then they're just waiting for the Lord, and that's what it's all about. They've been waiting and buying time. The next Lord should be able to seal the deal.
But right now, Team Eliminators, they do have the resources, they do have the spell to contest this a lot out. And maybe we will be seeing that, slowly by slowly. I'm looking at the position coming from Matilda as well. She is trying to provide, she is trying to open up the map, but she is just not being able to because it is just because of the Apex, and it is quite hard for them. Look at that.
Oh, penalty zone on towards Jay once again. The target, but guess what? Winter Crown comes in and they coming in. Crisis left exposed. Ryu gets the target, and now they're raining hell down upon the Eliminators, trying to eliminate them from Land of Dawn. Indeed, Art gets taken down by Radium. Chaos Assault does too much damage. He gets a double. Sirar Moon running for his life, and guess what? On the other side, Suzumi can't really do anything. Gets taken down by Jay, and Sirar Moon and Bid, the only ones left standing. and they're trying to save their base, but I don't think it's possible. But Apex got a 2-man knock-up, and that is it, folks. ABM able to take the game 2-0 in this best of 5 showcase match, MOBA Legends 5v5 anniversary. Make sure if you want to be a part of this, don't forget that you gotta download the game indeed.
But what a game this was, match 2, folks, and looks like ABM are taking it away. Looks like Radium is upholding his position for the best goal laner in India, isn't it, Kronos?
Oh my god, best goal laner 13-0-3. If that does not prove his haters wrong, I don't know what else. With the first game with a Moscow and MVP, this time on the Lunox, going to show that he has a deeper hero pool than we think it is. Everyone said it, including myself. I called it. I thought he could only play the Harriet. I mean, given the fact that the meta was shifting, I think he was buying time for himself to see what it was going around. Yes, he's comfortable on the Moscow. We've seen that. We've seen that he's comfortable on Lunox this time. But knowing that Harriet is his trusty partner, can pull off whenever he wants to, waits for it, buys time for himself, looking at the meta, understanding the meta, and that's what he did. He did his research, went back to the drawing board, he told himself, hey, it's time for me to get back into the Batman role once again, not be the Robin of the story all the time. And he's been, just coming out radiant ever so. And ABM, once again, coming out on top. And I don't think this is a story that's new to us. It's been there time and time again. It's just that Eliminators have been creeping up on them so much that it's just, it seems like an upset, but it's not. And I think Scared shed some light on this.
Thank you so much for bringing me in so subtly. But you know what? We've been talking about Radium, and the man is just trying to silence all the people out there. But there
Tell
is
me
some
about it.
light that I wanted to shred over the fact that when there's a Khalid on the other side, Kronos, I guess the first item that you prioritize is, of course, a dominant size, but that's the full item. There's always those small micro items that you always pick up, right? And I'm talking about Red Knot armor. You need
Yup.
to make that item to make sure that you're at least tanking a bit. But Suzumi, even though there's a Nolan on the other side and there's a Khalid on the other side, did not cook that item up. And I think so, Kronos, you've been talking about that, Peachy. That actually is a very big problem, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's the disrespect here. I think there's nothing more than this disrespect. Suzumi is like, what are they gonna do, man? I'm a Terizla, I'm a tanky, beefy boy, I go to the gym, I
Yeah.
swing this heavy hammer. What can a desert sandstorm do to me? What can this time traveler who can pierce through time and space actually do to me? And guess what? He just got melted down like he was ice cream on a sunny day. And that's what it was all about, Peachy. I think you know more as well. That's Terizla. We've been highlighting it in the entire game, but being the target of this beatdown coming out from ABM, oh my god.
That was crazy.
In the last match, that is true, scary. But in the last match, we did see Ryu, he was targeting Crisis. In the second match, it was Suzumi. I was surprised to see how they were shutting down the EXP right from the minute one, and they made sure that Suzumi won't be giving up the penalty zone, because every single time he used this penalty zone, it was just purely defensively trying to escape or maybe trying to catch up. But the Grok was there with the immune, and he does team ABM with the gold, with the item advantage as well. They did survive it out.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. And yes, there was some itemizations that were definitely the problem. But Kronos, now here's the thing. Here's what I will say. And I think so you're gonna love it. Do you think ET are lagging behind in terms of the meta update?
Yes, brother. I was saying this. I was saying this quite a long time. I said this even in the game while we were casting, along with Peachy as well. I feel like they are lagging behind in the current meta, because the meta is changing every single day, folks. It's not a meta that stays throughout. There are patches that come in, there are patches that go out, but when the patches that come in, certain heroes are buffed, certain heroes are nerfed, and because of that causes a shift. Everybody knows this. What am I talking about? But what I'm talking about right now is the fact that this Khalid has been on the rise for quite some time, not been exposed yet, and guess what? Jay brought it out, and Suzumi thought that he could actually do something with the Terizla. But let's get to brass tacks. What does a Terizla do? provides the penalty zone, 5-man set, able to provide the early game damage with that skill too, and
True.
actually be a beefy boy in the EXP lane, make his
True.
presence felt as a frontliner. Now, what does a Khalid do? Provides a 5-man set with the Raging Sandstorm, does a lot of damage in the early game. He can have wave clear as well. He's a dominating force as a front line in the mid game to the late game. The only thing that Khalid does better than a Terizla that actually puts him a rank above, like let's say A tier or S tier compared to a Terizla, is the fact that he can rotate faster. He has that magic sand surfboard, man. He just gotta go around the map, around the river in a sandboard. And he's able to get there faster than a Terizla. By the time Terizla is able to pick up his hammer and be like, yes, I'm done swinging this bad boy, the Khalid's already halfway across the map. And guess what? Now you're lacking on the EXP side rotation. And this Khalid is just going to be annoying on your team's goal laner. And that's what this entire game was about. Jay was just dominating from minute one. And Ryu just realized the fact that Terizla is the target that they need to take down. Because apart from the Terizla, what other set potential did they have?
True. I mean, that's a big point, as you mentioned about that, which I also wanted to touch on. And Peachy, I'll be asking this one from you. Terizla was the only frontliner. We also saw the itemization that came in from Art, and he went in for the Flask of Oasis, then into the Enchanted Talisman and the Blood Wings. And he was going in that magic damage route. You also have the Faramis into the mid lane. Now, yes, it is understandable that the only one on the other side who was also tanky was just Apex on that Grok. But I think so the set potential that a Grok provides you is a bit more better as compared to Suzumi. Because when Suzumi was joining the fights, he was already down to half HP. And I think so that was a big problem because all Khalid needs to do is use his skill 2, that's the Quicksand Guard, and he will get his HP back and he can go in for some good sets. So I think so the combo of Khalid and Grog was much better and much beefy as compared to a combination of a Terizla and a Mathilda. What do you think?
Either to answer to that question and to answer to the Grok aggression as well, I think they really need to switch up to a heavy CC tank that can actually potentially go back to the back line, maybe a implosion with the flicker that could be doing that damage, not the damage, but the CC and the magic as well. So that I think that would be a good aggression. But on the other hand, we all know how Apex is the setup player. He does set up that.
True.
What if he goes in with the Visas again? I do think that they will be playing again the Grok into the match 3 as well. As Chrono said, if it's not broken, why fix it? So it is highly possible that they might be go. And they have to answer Grok as well into the match 3. So we will be seeing that very, very soon.
I mean, I'm going to enjoy that match 3, but ladies and gentlemen, now here's a big one for you guys. If you want to enjoy all of these games and you want to enjoy the game itself, make sure you download the MOBA Legends 5v5. You will find the link in the description. If not, just go on the Play Store, search for the MOBA Legends 5v5. That's exactly what Kronos is doing right here. And that's, he actually hops down in India to play that. But here we go. There's one more important factor about you. The Northeast Cup is right around the corner and it will have the first ever MOBA Legends 5v5 on the biggest ever LAN in India. And you do not want to miss out on that action. And if you want to be a part of it, download the MOBA Legends 5v5 as quickly as possible. And folks, we've been waiting for a while now. I know, Kronos, you're super ready. You really want to hop into it. But before we move forward, we'll be just taking a very quick breather of 5 minutes, people. Do not go anywhere. Download the game. We will be right back after this short break.
A darkness plagues this world, unseen by mortal eyes. People prayed to the Immortal One to safeguard the sanctity of peace.
The ceremony's starting! It's Suyo! It's Suyo!
I bear this mask, for this duty is mine alone. Fear festers into darkness. But deep within, there is hope to crush that fear. Through this mask, I see no fear.
A darkness plagues this world, unseen by mortal eyes. People prayed to the Immortal One to safeguard the sanctity of peace.
The ceremony's starting! It's Suyo! It's Suyo!
I bear this mask, for this duty is mine alone.
Welcome back, folks. You guys are tuned in at the promotional match of the Northeast Cup. With that, we will be back. This is Kronos and Scarier joining me. And Kronos, I have a question for you. With that, will ABM be able to do a 3-0, or will Team Eliminators will have a step up and actually go what with a reverse sweep had we seen in the previous tournament?
Think if you ask me, I want to see it go down to a game 5 just because of the fact that it's going to be more entertaining for us. This is indeed a showcase match after all. But given the way that ABM are just stomping around the map, making their way through the jungle, and Apex has just been a monster on this grok. Ryu has been dominating the jungle. Radium has been leading the charge from the gold lane as well. And Jay has finally been able to take a back seat in front of all this while Asuna has just untouched the entire game. I think ABM will probably make it a 3-0. But given the fact that Eliminators are disrespecting them as well, means that it's definitely going to be a 3-0.
Oh, highly possible, Kronos. Yes, that is true. But as we all know that there is a chance that Eliminators might give them the competition. But do you think, as the last match we did see that the Roger pick did not work for into their favors, even the Terizla pick did Hilda, I have to say, because the Roan gap was actually very evident. What do you think they have to change up into their lineups for the next match?
I mean, I'll be honest, the main hero that has been creating so many problems for the other side has been that Grog. And I think so in game 3, you should technically just ban it out because let's be honest, yes, it's understandable that there are meta heroes that you need to take care of. You can't really let go of the chip so easily because Apex will eat you alive on that. You can't also let go the Xborg of J. He's going to eat you up alive on that. But as for the last ban, I think so you can really focus down to ban away the grog just to force Apex off of that, because it's all about momentum. And right now, the momentum is heavily in favor of ABM. And currently, the situation is that Apex gets a grog again. He has been demolishing you through the entire evening. Let's be honest, in game number one, Crisis had a purify on that Nathan. And even after that, he was getting caught not in the wild charge, but in the Guardian's barrier. And that's how smart Apex was playing. He was using the wild charge, baiting out the purify, and then he was just using the Guardian's barrier to cut off any kind of exit routes. That's the whole point about it. So maybe just ban away the grog and then you work your way around. And again, it just seems that ET are kind of lagging behind in meta, and that's what ABM have actually been working in their own favor.
I think the addition to the team, Rayu, who is the newest member, I mean, he is the oldest member, but new addition to the team ADM, I think it is playing into the cast roles. But I don't think that team eliminators, they do know how Rayu has been playing. It is just we are already into the two matches. The two matches
Hmm.
have been done. Third match, they know what cards that team ABM will be playing. So maybe they would retaliate. What do you think about that,
Hmm.
Kronos?
I think ABM are gonna stick with that Grok once again, because Eliminators are gonna try to find an answer to the Grok, because Grok is not a priority pick that you want to ban out. Yes, the Grok had a little bit of a rework. They got taken out that mana that was an issue earlier that kind of had to make him recall, even though he was full HP, just because Power of Nature kind of takes out quite a lot of mana. The Guardian's Berry eats up a lot of
True.
mana. So right now, without having that extra bit of need to recall, I think that brings Grok into the highlight. Yes, it does. But touching up on your point of Ryu being the wild card, you can call it, in the entire lineup of ABM, I looked up, like I mentioned earlier, like I Googled the meaning of Ryu, and I got two meanings. One of them was a unique dragon. And I was like, yes, Ryu kind of does play like a dragon, just flies in whenever he wants, kills whoever he wants, and just walks away. That is true, but guess what? The other meaning was a gift from God. And you never know, was this a gift from God on towards ABM's lineup, the piece that they were missing in the puzzle the entire time? Yes, they were unstoppable indeed with Mirio back then, but is this new addition actually gonna add up, or is it gonna multiply their so-called unbeatable
Mhm.
and unbreakable composition even further? And that's the question that we're looking to see in this series.
Yes, that is true, Kronos. I'm truly excited to see the next match as well because it is a game breaking and a game changer, a point for ABM that if they are able to win this up, they are taking away the 5,000 diamonds home. But on the other hand, these eliminators, they do have the chance to retaliate, to answer back those aggression coming in from ABM. Isn't that scary?
That is absolutely true. They've got a good possibility, and I guess as long as now we're just waiting for the game to start as well. I also want to touch up on the fact, Kronos. You asked if the addition of Ryu is going to add on to their strength of multiply. I'm already telling you, it is multiplying because Ryu bringing in the hero pool in terms of the assassin junglers is one thing, but also the synergy between Apex and Ryu, it goes long way back. And that's one of the main reasons why I love the addition of that man. Because yes, it gives some healthy room to Jay to work around with his own EXP lane. It also brings in the possibility of even more aggressive gameplay of ABM in the early game. And we already know there's snowball potential. Once they get going, it's difficult to stop them. Or,
Begins.
well, not just difficult, it's almost impossible to stop them. And that's why I think so ABM might actually end up 3-0ing this game.
Also, my one last question before we move on to the draft, because yes, the draft is on. Who do you think Ryu will be targeting? In the first match it was Crisis, the second match it was Suzumi. What are your guesses, guys?
Yeah, I gotta
My
be
God.
mid this time, right? He went gold, he went EXP. Let's go down mid this time. Yeah,
All right, I'm just gonna say
And
he's gonna target Art. He'll just delete Art. That's all I'll say.
and
Who said
and with
that?
that, take it away, guys. Have a blast because we are entering match three. There we go.
Well, thank you so very much for that, Peachy. And yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, heading into this game number 3, the draft is now live, and it's ABM on the blue side, Eliminators on the red one, Chrono, Ruby, and Chip. They're still sticking to their default with a high loss ban coming in by the side of ABM.
I think, you know what, Scared? I wanted to touch up on a point that we made earlier. You said Ryu would actually multiply the ABM lineup, right? But I think Art's kind of dividing the Eliminators lineup. I'm not really sure I should say that. You know, we're doing a little bit of math here and there, but I think Art's not been fully integrated into the system that Eliminators kind of have going on for themselves. But the entire time, it's been a factor. Is it ABM versus ET, or is it been Apex versus Kimmy prior? Is it Apex versus Art? Is that what it's all about? I feel like more than anything, this has been a showcase match not for ABM or Eliminators, it's for Ryu. I'll be honest, this man has been on a stomp. And that stomp cannot be stopped whatsoever because I cannot see it stopping. And if I was playing the game myself, I'd be asking questions. How do you stop this Grok? How do you stop this man's Julian? What if he pulls out a Ling? Can he really play a Hayabusa? And the way you're talking about him back in the day, Scared, feels like he's an assassin main.
Even when all is forlorn.
He had his name made by those Ling plays and those Hayabusa plays, right? And it's still left open. But wait a second. They still have let the Phobias go. Jay is just gonna lock it instantly. As I was saying that he also went in. But here's the thing, we're already talking about the fact you mentioned about the point as well that it is indeed, yes, I agree, Art versus Apex, but I love it. Finally, they steal away the Chronos, but I can already smell a Carmilla pick from Apex. I'm already smelling it because this is one of the similar drafts that happened in one of the previous tournaments, and I'm not even going to hide it anymore. It is what happened yesterday.
Yeah, and exactly. I think it's the fact that Eliminators start. This is a panic pick, right? This is panic. That emote that everybody likes to throw in the Land of Dawn, and that's what this one is for sure. And they don't have answers to his Grok, so why not just pick it up for themselves? Can Art actually play the Grok? Big question mark indeed, like his name gives out to be. But you're right, the counter that you can see for a Grok is that Carmilla to able to soak up all the damage in the early game. Oh my god, taking a page from his own book. Crisis will be put into a crisis. And Alice, along with the Jawhead, Art seems like he's gonna have a lesson to learn this time.
You're bringing the Jawhead in front of the man who made his name with two of some insane plays being made on Jawhead and Kufra. That's the kind of guy Apex is. Crisis locking in the carry. I understand the idea. Radium is going to be super tanky. Jay is going to be super tanky. Apex is going to be a very tanky pick. So carry is again the hero you would really want to jump on for that true damage. But I think so. Now you need to create the entire composition around Crisis's carry. You really need to go forward with that full front to back comp, and you need someone in that EXP lane that can not just go toe to toe against Jay's Phobias, but also at the same time can help you with the sets and save Crisis in that backline. And I guess that's also going to be the way for Bit to go. And I think so. He can't really steal Unstoppable Force. He's not going to do anything with the Radium's ultimate as well. So if then in the next two picks, ABM decide not to go with any kind of ultimates that Valentina can use, that's a big win for them in the mid lane already.
Yeah, I agree. I think like ABM are trying to get ahead of themselves this time around because the mid wave cleared the Valentina and Grok combination is not something that's new. It's not something that's come up recently. It has been there since the hero Valentina got released, especially that fast wave clear that you're talking about. And now having Crisis on a carry that kind of is known to burst down tanks, I don't think this Alice is going to have a great time. But right now, the only way that ABM can retaliate is by going in for an all-dive composition on their side. And looking like banning out the Alpha, that kind of stops that, taking out the Edith as well. The Aurora on the other side, I'm not sure that would have, yeah, I mean, that's a good ban, but the Louis as well. Okay, Scared, what do you think's got to be the answer on ET?
I mean, for ET, if you really think about it, what can you actually go at this point? There's Alpha has been banned out. There's also Xbox banned out. There are only a few options that are remaining. If you really want to go some utility jungler, you could go Martis. You can force it out. I don't really feel it's going to be good. There's also a possibility of a Dyroth into the jungle, but then that's again a full-on go and either delete the other side or get deleted by the other side. I don't think so. That's gonna work. They pick up the alert for the EXP, and again, it's decent, understandable, but Arlott is losing the lane against Phobia so bad. I guess so. The last, oh my goodness, they left the link open for this pick, and now Ryu locks it in. And if you ask me, Nana is again if they really want to go and flex it, but Lilia would be a perfect pick in this case.
Yeah, I think Lilia is the way I'd be looking to go out as well, just because it kind of provides a problem for this Grok. The only sort of an answer that you can see, I'm not a fan of the Zushin right here. Bo, don't tell me you want to go Julian in the mid lane. You get that enhanced chain knockup. It could be a problem indeed. But I feel like they gotta go somewhere in the route of, oh my god, they go for the Zushin scared.
By lantern's light.
Understandable, because again, they reverted few of the changes onto Zushin. So I think so. Abhi could still eventually work that out. But you know what? Sarar Moon's Hayabusa is now giving me PTSD, and it's also reminding me of what happened when last time Abhi, when his previous agent was Asuna, picked up a Zushin against Sarar Moon's Hayabusa. And it was Sarar Moon finding so many openings on him. He actually fed onto him and then eventually went out to snowball the entire game. But now it's the time for the updated ABM, for the new ABM, for the added Ryu ABM to show Eliminators what they're going to do, because they've been showing off. And I was about to mention, it's not just a showcase match that's going on, it's a show off match for Ryu that's been going on.
ABM 2.0 versus Eliminators 1.2, and right now, folks, we are getting ready to go into the Land of Dawn, possibly the final game of this Best of 5 series, as ABM is 2-0 up against Eliminators. ABM on the blue, Eliminators on the red. I am Kronos, your caster alongside me. Is gonna be scared yet? What do you think is gonna happen this time around? 3-0, 2-1, what are we talking?
I think so. It could be a 3-0, as both the junglers now start with their own purple buff, means they will end up on the opposite side of those maps in terms of those rotations. But the mid priority will go to Eliminators, and that's what they are having fun at. Nabi has got a big problem in terms of those wave clearing, so I think so Eliminators will control the early game, and that's what they need to do with this Grok.
And that's what they are doing indeed, and they are trying to dominate the gold side as well. Given the fact that Apex is there on the Jawhead, he has to play aggressive, but realizing that the fast clear puts him on the back foot. So Jawhead not really able to showcase his full potential, but at the same time, he definitely wants to show Art a lesson.
Seems to be like that, and again, over towards the bottom side is where my focus is going to be, Kronos, because that EXP is how you are now going to define how this entire engagement is going to go. And Suzumi has been having a beat in the past 2 games, and that's basically the same thing even in this one. In the Edith one, yes, understandable, not so much. But in the Terizla one, 0-10? Now that's something you don't really see every day.
Apex rocking a hard place, has to get out of the Lord Pit, has to flicker out of harm's way. Guess what? They are stuck inside their own Guardian's barrier. He's forced to get the quad chat out of there. Power of nature to make sure he doesn't get caught in the ejector as well. Scared, I know it's a showcase match for Ryu, but at the same time is... Okay, show off. You caught me off guard, but guess what? They're catching Asuna off guard as well. Apex gets the ejector. Artmany copy the rock in a hard place. First blood on towards Asuna. Uno reversed right then and there as the turtle is up this time.
They can easily now take that because there's no one to open up the map. Heart is out there, but wait a second. They want to go and steal it with the purple, I guess.
Oh my god, steal it. Look at that. They get the Tempest of Blade from Bid, this time with the Valentina. Art actually trying to create some space for Serar, but Ryu here, he wants that purple, and he does not want any of that beef. They do have the Mark of the War Cry as well coming in. The damage can be multiplied, but they get the ejector on towards Art once again. They go for it. All hell breaks loose, and there is Jay going to the back line, but guess what? Ryu wants to go in as well. Forced to back off. Art here, and Jay, he's just eating up too much damage. Vengeance popped. and he gets taken down as Apex tries to save the day, but too little, too late. They get the ejector onto Suzumi once again, overextending, and seems like Eliminators want to get the kill, and yes, they do, while ABM pick up the turtle.
And it's Eliminators who are actually in a gold advantage right now. Even if it's of just 300 gold, it's going to increase slowly and steadily because, again, Crisis has been free farming all this time in that top side. Now that's a big thing. And even in that previous engagement, I guess the idea was right from ABM to force out the retribution of Serar Moon onto his own purple buff. But it just seems that Apex eventually overstayed his welcome when he got a knockup on Suzumi, and that's where the punishment began.
Oh my god, the punish is real indeed, and I kind of want to say this again, Scared. Is Apex actually taking Art to school? Because he is playing this jawhead, he's able to get those ejectors, but guess what? Asuna gets caught up, but flickers right on time! Able to dodge out the entire Ogi shadow kill Apex. He wants to march in the midst of it, but able to back off his Art.
I really want to see how this Ryu versus Serar Moon eventually gonna end up, right? Because both of them now on the flashy assassins, and for now Serar is on those 2 assists, and he's on that Hayabusa. So the later this game goes, the harder he's going to scale, but he needs to hit that level 12. But wait a second, oh my god, wait!
Oh, he gets caught, but Tempest of Blade goes in, but a really nice wild charge comes out, and Ryu is forced to back out of harm's way, and seems like he's not able to showcase that Link that everybody knows him to be. And is this the time for a Power of Nature from Art to escape the CC that comes out from ABM? But Bid here, he wants to go in on towards Asana. He's hungry. They've been taking down this beating for quite a while. Is there their time to shine? And Jay, he is there as the front line that he needs to be before the turtle just spawns up at 10, Scared.
Both the teams are now playing it so very smart, slow, safe, cool, calm, collected. But if you overall just talk about it, yes, there's a goal lead inside of ET, but Dallas is going to scale super hard into that late game, and there's a constant poke in the mid.
Get that ejector comes out, but Serar Moon gets in quad shadow kill, gets the kill, and he goes in, are able to pick her out of harm's way as well. With the wild charge, the conceal was popped at the same time, and Suzumi and Sir are able to pick up their core items right now. Will be dishing out a lot of damage as the turtle Ryu gets the priority there once again, but Serar, is he gonna go for it? No, he doesn't. Jay making the space, and Bid actually gets caught, but does get out of harm's way. But guess what? Suzumi goes on towards Ryu as well. Tempest of Blades comes out, and Suzumi, he gets that big final flash. He gets the double, and looks like Jay wants to run away. But guess what? The turtle goes into Serar. They get the kill. And seems like this fight is being extended as much as they can. Apex falls down. That is a 3-for-1 trade. Make that 3-for-2. Jay is just bonking his way to victory. Quad shadow, Ogi shadow kill comes out. Jay between a rock and a hard place. Oh my god, that is a killing spree for a lifetime for Serar Moon.
That's a nonsensical stuff that happened all the way out in the open like that, and a beautiful opening that Eliminators found onto the members of ABM. They made sure that even though it was turtle fight, they found the perfect priority, but it was such a phenomenal play made by Suzumi with the final slash to survive on a slither of HP and also catch 3 people out there. That was the set of the entire game. And it seems like Kronos, even though we've been talking about the fact that EXP laners take a lot of beating, I guess so it's EXP laners who also set the momentum in those team fights. Huh?
The momentum, Sarah showcasing his Hayabusa, but guess what? Here comes Ryu! Tempest of Blade! He gets the shutdown, but he gets the double kill on his way out, Serar Moon, showcasing he's a better assassin than Ryu indeed.
As of now, it seems to be the case, but wait a second, Apex out there might as well get caught in the open, so needs to be careful.
Oh my god, he does need to be careful. Suzumi, he's been able to set the pace for his team, like you mentioned, but what a play from the Hayabusa, what a play from Serar. I thought he was out for the count, but guess what? He took 2 down with him. I wish we could see a replay, folks, because guess what? That was the fastest fingers I've seen in a long, long time.
Indeed, that is true. And on that Hayabusa, that's what you really need to do. And it seems like it's not just the fact how they are comfortable onto those picks, but it's also the fact that Suzumi is comfortable on that Arlert and is setting his team up so very well for those wins. And guess what? It's Eliminators now who are having control in the map as they're turning it red slowly instead. Oh my goodness, Suzumi, why do you have to do it when I just praise you?
Yeah, that's all I can say, Scared. He thought he could do something, but guess what? So do ABM right now. They're trying to charge on towards Bid. Tempest Blades drops down. They get Crisis, but Sirar Moon gets ejected. Has the Quad Shadow to get out of harm's way as well. Bid is trying to buy some time. The Valentina has to get out. Yes, it does, finally. But will they be able to clear the way? But here comes Jade. This is where he tries to shine a lot. Retribution from Sirar Moon, able to get that purple. And right now, ABM will try to make their way. Ogi Shadow comes out from Sirar Moon. Will he get the kill? No, he doesn't. But there comes Suzumi, able to pick it up. Oh. And he goes for the final slash as well. They're trying to drag this team fight out, Scared.
They're trying to drag it out indeed, but at the same time, if you really look at it, it's just constant disengages coming in from the side of ABM. They're just not so very ready to deal with everything that Eliminators are throwing onto their face. And the later this game goes, yes, we do understand Alice is going to become even stronger. But here's a fun fact. Kronos, whenever you have an Alice in the team or whenever you have a Sicilian in the team, you try to draft in a certain way that in the mid to late game, your jungler does not require the purple buff so that they can feed it onto either the Sicilian or the Alice. But here, both Ryu and both really require that purple buff. But hold on a second, a concealed play for top.
On the box side as well. Oh, the wild charge comes in and right cameraman angle as well. Jay gets caught, but meanwhile, Sirar Moon gets shut down top as well. So the trade is made favoring ABM this time around because they're able to get Sirar Moon in the trade for Jay. I think that was a costly one for Eliminators because they need to protect Sirar right now. He's the one that's carrying the game so far, and seems like they forgot that the story cannot be going their way as well. ABM slowly starting to take charge of the game. Scared yet?
Just 1000 gold remaining for the side of Eliminators now, and Radium is going to be very tanky once you reach in over towards that mid and late game. Crisis has got this flicker, but the constant setups from Apex can actually ruin his entire love story. He does not have a Purify, so an ejector basically means he's out in the open in the wild.
Yeah, he is out in the open. He is out open in the wild indeed. But will that wild charge actually make a difference? 026 Art actually has been pulling his weight this time around. Apex has the ejector. He wants to go for it. Art able to buy some time for his team. Able to create that space that they need. But still ABM able to defend. This is where they're so good. We've seen them time and time again. Scared, I've said this so many times. I know you're tired of hearing it from my mouth, but this is what it is. ABM are able to slow games out, buy themselves time when they're losing to make that epic comeback.
Absolutely, and that's exactly what they're doing. There's actually a death bush setup coming in from the side of Eliminators. I mean, it was around that Lord Pit right now, but it's totally fine. They're kind of trading the map space away, and I love the idea. Look at Ryu in the top side. He's going to push that wave, and then we'll move in for that Lord. And the fact that it's Ryu pushing means he'll constantly jump onto those walls with the Flinch Boys and run back to safety. I like the idea. And now it's again Crisis all the way over towards the top. Both the lanes being controlled by the side of ABM.
He went in indeed, but there's the final slash. They get that play going in from the side of Eliminators. Suzumi's the one to start it, but he gets the wild charge on towards 5, and they're dashing in, trying to do a lot of damage, but the Blood Oath is just too much for them to deal with. Here comes the Speedy Light Wheels, Mina in the back line. Sirar Moon able to get the kill. Jay gets down, Tempest of Blades. Finally, will he get something? No, he does not. They get 4, they get 5. Eliminators eliminating the threats coming in from ABM, showing them that they're not here to play. They've done this before. They will do it again. The reverse sweep is on the card, folks. The Lord is up for grabs.
It's a free Lord coming in, and what a play by Eliminators. But honestly, it was Art who set it all up for his team. A full freaking 4 to 5 men stun on that wild charge was nasty, and that was the best you could think of. All the battle spells for the side of ABM were used out in that fight. They still could not get not enough damage from their side, and that is a big problem. They've got good amount of poke, Kronos, but they need the pokes from Radium and Rai or Abhi to combine, and then Rai will jump in as the cleanup crew. They need Jays, Bonks as well on those people. But it's just the fact that Eliminators are splitting the fight into two halves, and then it's Sarar Moon jumping in perfectly to take down Abhi and find those openings onto him.
Speaking of an opening, Suzumi giving ABM an opening, to be honest, but right now Sarar Moon, he does not want any of that beef. Seems like
True.
whatever ET have been cooking scared yet takes some time, and that's what we're looking at right now. They have the priority in the map, and Conceal Play coming out from Apex. He has the ejector. Does he want to go for it? No, he doesn't, but meanwhile, the top in the bot side, they get that solo kill. Suzumi gets caught out by Ryu. He is quite deep in the enemy territory right now. He does not have the Tempest of Blades, but Sarar Moon, is he aware of that? Quad Shadow indeed, but clears the wave, saves his inhibitor, and seems like Ryu, he's playing with fire right now.
Yeah, he just understands the basic mechanics of when those quad shadows will be back up, right? That's the perk of being the assassin player as well. You know those timings, you can work around with it, but I still feel that it was kind of a bit of a miscommunication as well, because the Tempest of Blades was baited out by Suzumi. So I think so he should have given the call to Sarar that there's no Tempest of Blades available. But again, he can technically dodge it by jumping over to the wall as well to be shadow kill. So I think so he just did not want to take risk. And prioritizing the inhibitor to save it first was a good deal. But look at both the teams. Look at the positions that they're holding. Both of them just making sure they're kind of dividing that river part. But if you were to ask me, I think so. Eliminators right now have got the better positioning, but ABM can actually pincer, maneuver, and catch them from 2 to 3 different angles.
Pincer is what we're looking for, right? And ABM are so good at that, given the fact that they have Radium on an Alice that can just dive straight into the back line. I think I really want to see if he has the Winter Crown or not this time around, because that could be the difference maker. The Blood Ode into Winter Crown to soak up all the damage while getting that heal back up once again. That will be the difference maker. But then again, Suzumi has been so on point with his final slashes in this game as well. Ryu, he wants that beef. Oh, this has been the one that we're looking for. He goes in, and there it is. The Conceal Play comes out scared. I think, yeah, they don't want that beef.
Careful, they have to be careful, because now Art and everyone know their position. They've basically given up a lot of map space on the other side. The idea was to take down Suzumi, and then they retake the space in towards that Lord Pit. But that just did not happen. Suzumi was safe, and now the entire Lord Pit is being controlled by Eliminators.
Oh, and they know Ryu needs his purple, and that's why they're trying to do it. They want to go for the Lord this time around, forcing the retribution, but he does not use it. Art not able to get that Radium, catches and zones away Suzumi, the one target that they've been having trouble from the entire time. Sarar Moon, quad shadows in. Oh my god, ejector on towards Art. Is he the right target? Unstoppable force not used yet. Sarar Moon gets the Lethal Wanderer, so gets some sort of a trade, not in the biggest form, but small. Oh no, he gets caught. Will he go? Quad shadow to get on harm's way once again. Meanwhile, look at Ryu scared.
Yeah, he seems to be the one who's actually poking down that Lord a bit, but oh my goodness, Jay, he can actually be caught out there.
Oh, he is, and guess what? The backline is in shambles, and there's Ryu. He gets that shutdown that they need so badly, but so does they going in. Unstoppable force. Immortality has been popped as well. Oh my god.
Radium.
So scared. This is
He's
too much.
just not stopping. He's just not stopping. Look at Radium, my man. The only thing to stop him is his own fucking mana. But in that late game, ABM finally find the priority that they were looking for. All they need to do is take down Crisis. There's no more carry. There's no one to shut down Radium on this beefy Alice.
This is quite beefy indeed, and this is the change in the meta we were talking about. ABM are able to keep their game up. They understand the meta, and that's what this entire thing has been about. They are the meta abusers. They have been for quite a long time, but who wouldn't be when the heroes are so overpowered? And that's been a one-sided story. They were behind 1K in gold. They still are, but they're still dictating the pace of the game. ET are not able to crack that nut open, and they really want to do so. They're getting restless. They're getting impatient, and that's what's led them to this point. And look at that, scared. They're trying to get in there. One more time, Suzumi gets caught out. Able to get out of harm's way. Will he get down indeed? No, he does not. They go in. Tempest Ablaze drops down, but able to back off and disengage.
Yeah, there's just too many utilities now being used by the side of ABM, getting a bit more restless out here. Oh my goodness, that's a beautiful ejector play. Look at the worst art is going to be demolished, and he is eventually. And this is the opening ABM were looking for, Kronos. It seems like they can now try and force down the Lord too.
Oh my god, I was just gonna say, Art, look at your team. They're separating you one after the other, and guess what? They did that. This is what they're so good at. They're able to buy themselves enough time to make sure they're able to make that play, and they're forcing Suzumi to clear out these waves. He doesn't have the greatest wave clear. ABM, oh my god, they're collapsing. They're collapsing, and yes, they do. They get the Lord as well. They get Crisis. Seramu next on the chopping block, and he does. Oh, he goes down, but he gets used the Ogi Shadow kill, but will he get out on time? No, he does not. Double kill from Radium. They get bid. Will they? No, they don't. They want to get him. Oh my god, they do. The ejector play right on point. Radium is in their faces. Blood Oath to dish out the damage. That's the winner crown I was talking about. And Suzumi will be the next one to fall. Art is there next to the chopping block. Suzumi is surviving. Ejector. He gets taken down. One left standing, scared. Will they be able to end?
Yeah, it seems like it is going to be the end. It is going to be the 10 more seconds for Crisis to hop in. And it's the recall taunts coming in from ABM. They end it in a 3-0 action. And what a way to end up being on top in this country. The India's best team out here is definitely ABM with a record that has been like 5-0 if you compare it from yesterday and as well as today.
Don't know what to say anymore. I thought Eliminators had this in the bag. Looks like what they were cooking for such a long time was showing, bearing some fruit. You got that aroma coming in. Seems like they just forgot to add the salt. And guess what? Who came in with the salt? ABM did. Threw salt in their wounds. Compared to the 2-0 that they had yesterday, this is a 3-0, and Eliminator seems like they got to get back on the drawing board, got to chalk out a new plan, and feel like they're back on the number 2 spot once again. ABM claiming that apex position, which is the top 1 spot. After this, at least you can say. And now for a proven fact, Scared Yet, given the fact that we have the Northeast Cup coming close around the horizon, ABM, I think, are the team to beat.
I think so. The only competition for this team is now going to be Evil Esports, and this also, yeah, it brings back some good memories as well as some, you could say spicy rivalries. Back in the day, there used to be Soft Dragon versus Evil Esports. It used to be such an anticipated matchup, and would always go back and forth, with priority sometimes being for Evil Esports. They were the ones who had the advantage to win the games. Most of the times it also used to be Soft Dragons. And again, this not the entire core, but at least some part of it has been exactly the same, right? Apex in that roam position. Then there's also Ryu, who's back into that jungle. Yes, has been looking a bit more rusty around that lane, but it's absolutely fine. Maybe slowly and steadily we'll see him get back into the shape. But honestly, we have to agree to the fact Radium on the Alice, and not just on the Alice, in that gold lane, he's redeemed himself from everything that has happened previously. The man did a phenomenal job. And we always talk about Alice with the tanky build. This guy did not care one bit about tankiness. He was like, I am full damage. You want frontline, you can have Jay right on your faces with those bonks.
Hey, I mean, who does Radium have to prove anything to be honest? He is a great player. He knows that. I mean, I know you and I both have made some claims in terms of Radium having, being I wouldn't say playing bad, you can say underperforming, because only so because we hold him to such a high standard in what we've seen in the past. So every time he does not hit that mark, that is the unfortunate part of being one of the great players, right? He's not a good player, he's a great player. Then that's the unfortunate part of being a great player. If you're not able to hit that mark, that expectation that people have of you from the beginning, you're going to look like you're playing bad. You're going to look like you're underperforming. And that's what happened in the past few matches, in the past few tournaments. And Radium showing that, hey, that was just a slump in his form. He's back again in the metagame. And maybe he's going to be the one top dog again to look out for. But speaking of the top dog, you were talking about Evil Esports, and we know that they've been the top dog in the past. But will they be able to bring that form into the present? Knowing that, there is a change in the meta, are they able to keep up? Because we saw a little bit of a rotation mishap happening yesterday, scared in a different tournament, indeed. And will Evil Esports actually be the one to beat them out? I'll be honest. I think there are better teams than Evil Esports out there.
I mean, I understand that you're also trying to pull the strings together by mentioning that there's IGN as well, and there's a few others like Lafukabi too. I guess so, not so much, but yeah, some team that can actually give them a good competition. I guess so. You're also wanting to talk about LCF, who, by the way, is up for playing tomorrow as well, ladies and gentlemen. They will be up tomorrow, so we will see them in the action too. But yes, I agree. Everyone else are like just trying to reach on top, but there's only one apex predator, and that is going to be ABM. That's something that no one can take it away from them. But Kronos, man, oh man, there was such a beautiful series that we saw, and my heart is like it's full of you could say full of all that action that we witnessed. It was just so amazing to see both of these teams duke it out, but eventually seeing what level has ABM reached right now.
Yeah, especially given the fact that they're going up and down in form. They've been changing their lineup. And if this is what Jay can pull off in the EXP lane, I just have a big question. Peachy, you're the one who got to answer this one. We know you're out there lurking in the shadows, in the background, waiting to pounce and say something. But guess what? If Jay is so good in the EXP lane, what will they bring back Mirio in the EXP lane? Or is it going to be Jay? Or I don't know, someone's got to be a sacrificial lamb over here. Will it be Jay? Will it be Mirio? Because we've seen Mirio in the EXP lane. Yes, he has a limited kind of a hero pool, but he's the one to make the play. But given the fact that EXP has been that brick wall of a role right now, is Jay the one to take up that mantle? Peachy, come on, give us your insights, bro.
Well, you know what? I guess there's been some issue on the side of Peachy with those constant connectivities. No worries. While she reconnects, I'll be the one to take on that question. I'll steal it away. I like to steal things. I'm like the Valentina.
Thief in the night,
who
huh?
steals
Thief
away.
in the
Yeah,
night.
exactly. Thief in the daylight. That's how you know that you are actually the real deal. Be the thief in the daylight. But
Don't be
yeah,
robbing banks out there.
I mean, you may never know if bank is owned by you. Then maybe I might. But yeah, I think so. Let's
Diamond
be
Bank.
honest. Arts. What? Nah, we're not going into that direction. But yeah, coming back into the same direction of the fact that how we were discussing about the fact that now Mirio, yes, indeed, he is a great player. We enjoy him. We enjoy seeing him. But at the same time, I think so. It's just because the vastness that Ryu has brought in on the table, that now Jay can basically go back to the lane that he was normally playing. He normally used to play the EXP lane, right? He was filling in the space as the jungler for ABM. So Jay can do his own shenanigans in his own lane. He can enjoy what he loves doing. And then Ryu can basically be that flashy player and combine his efforts with Apex, while Asuna is also there sitting in the mid lane, making sure that he's providing that crucial support to the team. I guess, Peachy, you're back in the action as well. So tell us, what do you think about the entire scenario? Well, seems like that's not going to be the case. It is still going to be the audio issue with Peachy. I guess we'll have to. Peachy, here's a sweet tip for you. Do the exact same thing that you did previously when we were facing this issue. But Kronos, coming back to the same point, and I believe before Peachy joins us, there's one more fun thing that we've got to announce, and it's going to be the matchup of tomorrow, right? It's IGN versus LCF.
So we know LCF stands for Lakshmi Chit Fund, right? For those of you who do not know, make sure you get that cap ITUX. But at the same time, is IGN stand for in-game name, or I guess not? I don't know what it stands for. We're gonna find out tomorrow, indeed.
I'm not saying.
And the casters for tomorrow will be our one and only Missy, Jenny, Yumena, and Sarah as well. But right now, I'm reeling it back a little bit, scared. The fact that you said Jay was an EXP laner, transition into the jungler role, I feel like he's more of a setup player. Because in the tank meta, the jungler was the one kind of dictating the pace of the game. And now the fact that the meta is kind of shifted into the assassins, the tank junglers have lost their touch in... I'm not saying lost their touch in terms of playing an assassin. I think lost their touch in the fact that they're not the ones to lead the charge when it comes to a team fight. They're not the ones to dictate the pace of the game. They're not the ones saying, hey, I want to go here. I want to invade. I want to take my objective. And this is where Jay has been... I would say having that gap that kind of needed to be bridged, and Ryu is the perfect fit into it all. So ABM definitely once again the top dog, the team to beat, has been time and again. More than anything, people want to see them fall. So will that fall happen? The Eliminators have done it once.
Oh my God.
I don't know, scared. I don't know what's going on. So I feel like this is a time for them to shine, or, in the next tournament, especially given the fact that we have the Northeast Cup that's just coming around on the corner.
True.
If you want to register, folks, make sure you do. The link will be provided in the chat by the moderators. Just ask for it. If you're having troubles on how to register, go to the BattleKnights page, look at their videos. There is a detailed explanation on how you have to register and why there are different kind of methods to do so. So, I think that's all I gotta say. Scared, I know you're more excited about that game than tomorrow.
I mean, absolutely. I'm very excited for the matchup that's going to happen tomorrow, because just how the rivalry of ABM versus Eliminators happened out today, and it panned out in the favor of ABM. Remember tomorrow's rivalry, that's LCF up against the members of IGN. And LCF, again, they were previously known by other name, and that team had a beautiful rivalry against the members of IGN. So yes, it's going to be the rivalry tomorrow. It's like 2.0, and we might possibly see a very fun result for tomorrow as well. So ladies and gentlemen, I know everyone wants to tune in as well. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, click on the bell notification so that you do not miss out on any action and tomorrow's match, because the casters, as Kronos announced for tomorrow, are going to be Missy, Jenny, Yumena, and Sarah. We are going to have so much fun with them on the desk. But ladies and gentlemen, that's all going to be it from our side for today. This was me, Scared Yet. Alongside me, it was Kronos, and the beautiful guest with us was Peachy. It was the action between ABM and Eliminators, where ABM 3-0'd Eliminators. All those people want to be a part of future action. Make sure you download the MOBA Legends 5v5 game from your Play Stores so that you can also tune into all that fun. And there's the anniversary that's going on, and there are some free epic skins out there as well. Make sure you quickly get your hands on them, and you do not miss out. Exactly, free epic skin. I mean, at least it's not collector, so that you might not miss it out this time around. Make sure you keep on logging in daily. People, make sure you play the game, make sure you log in, and make sure you register for the Northeast Cup. And yes, if you want some instructions, the video is on the BattleKnights page, and Kronos is the one who's explained the entire format. So I know you all will understand it perfectly, just how this man breaks down the game. So he's broken down that video and the process of registration. Now we will be seeing you guys tomorrow. Make sure you don't go anywhere. You tune in tomorrow at the same time as well. Have a good night, people. Thank you for joining us, and have sweet dreams.
Toodaloo, folks. Sure.
No. Let them do this on their stream. It's okay.
वो अपने वो हमें दे दे, हम अपने उस पे कर लेंगे.
A darkness plagues this world, unseen by mortal eyes. People prayed to the Immortal One to safeguard the sanctity of peace.
The ceremony's starting! It's Suyo! It's Suyo!
I bear this mask, for this duty is mine alone.